And here we see a wild Sam in its natural habitat. The wild Sam is slow in speed and often chooses grass as its choice of path. The wild Sam is now bending down in order to see its surroundings. But in the background we see a wild Becky. This is the wild Sam's natural enemy. The wild Becky has a stick in order to defend itself, whilst the wild Sam only has its brute strength. The wild Sam will start to get agitated. The wild Sam has stopped and is observing its enemy, whilst the wild Becky is lashing out with its stick. The wild Sam is now using its surroundings to defend itself, whilst the wild Becky is resorting to hitting the wild Sam. The wild Becky is now retreating, as the wild Sam is victorious in battle. The wild Becky will now run back to its cave and slither under a rock for another generation, whilst the wild Sam will carry on in its search to find a better home. The wild Becky is now running in for revenge on the wild Sam, but the wild Sam was peacefully trying to drag a stick to its home, which is unusual behavior for this type of animal. The wild Becky is using bright purple colors in order to scare the wild Sam into thinking it is a prey, when in fact it is a predator. The wild Sam, being a peaceful animal, is trying to avoid the fight, even though the wild Sam's brute strength is good enough to beat the wild Becky. And here we see an act of almost cannibalism between the two very similar animals. The wild Becky has no chance with its bright colours and sticks against the wild Sam's strength. The wild Sam decides that the wild Becky is bad tasting and is now unusually dragging a stick back to its home. The wild Becky decides to sabotage this plan by grabbing the stick. Now it is a tug of war between the two animals. The wild Becky has found a flaw in the design and has dropped its purple stick. The wild Sam takes this to her advantage. The wild Becky now has no defenses, whilst the wild Sam, using its brute strength and colour, can attack the wild Becky with its own weapon. The wild Becky is deciding to use its surroundings to hide and to run. The wild Becky's surroundings have helped her out in this case, because she has found another stick to use as defense against the wild Sam. The wild Sam is still winning against the wild Becky. Oh, what a change this is! The wild Becky has now decided to defeat the wild Sam through brute strength. The wild Sam has given up and is deciding to retreat. Wait, no it's not. The wild Sam is using its surroundings in order to throw grass at the wild Becky. The wild Becky is inevitably addicted with the colour purple. The wild Sam is now grabbing the stick and carrying on with its mission to take it back to its home. The wild Sam is now agitated at the wild Becky and is starting to attack, although the wild Becky is sneaking up on the wild Sam. Now the wild Sam is using its stick in order to defeat its surroundings. The wild Becky is running for its life, whilst the wild Sam is attacking it with a stick. Unfortunately for these two animals, they will never stop rivalry. They will only live on. Oh, and now they're attacking the cameraman. Oh dear, run for your life! I'm not food, you wild animals! I'm not food! Help me, sound people!